there'll be a lot of reaction to playing on a used pitch. In fact, yeah, I do. But I look at a left arm spinner. He's got a beautiful action. He's got the very natural action. I think you should have a bit of home advantage. And when you go to various countries and various places, you know what to expect.
Everybody for joining me once again. Saj Sadiq here for PakPassion.net, bringing you another exclusive interview. My guest today is a regular contributor to PakPassion. Always appreciate his time. He's a Lancashire legend, a former England player, coach, umpire. He's done pretty much everything when it comes to cricket. Fantastic commentator over the years. These days, he's still doing a little bit of commentary and some journalism. The one and only David Bumble Lloyd. Bumble, hope you're well.
Yeah, I am. And after all that, as to what I've done, I've added something else, Saj, as well. This week, I was a guest. They asked me to play in the Yorkshire past and present golf day at Panel. And so I was a guest Yorkshireman for the day.
Well, that could be the next career, Bumble, a bit of golf.
Well, I'm playing all right at the minute. I wouldn't want to play today. It's pouring down today. I don't like playing in the rain.
Bumble, Pakistan gambled in the second test match at Multan, and it worked.
It did. And, there'll be a lot of reaction to playing on a used pitch. In fact, playing on the same pitch. I'm a big believer in, if you're at home, you should have some sort of sway as to what you're going to play on. My only concern is in test matches, do we need to play on a used pitch? So there's a slight difference in having a bit of a home advantage. We'll just have a bit of home advantage on a new pitch, or we're going to play on a real turning pitch or a worn pitch, and then it's a gamble on the toss. We talk about Pakistan gambled in the second test, but the gamble was the toss. So you win the toss and bat first, and just look at the scores of each team. They're going down and down and down and down. And so you're in the pole position, in your box position to win the game if you win the toss.
Yeah, I mean, they packed the team with spinners, didn't they? And as you say, the toss was absolutely crucial. And, I guess it comes down to, as you say, the home advantage thing, isn't it? Where Pakistan will argue that, well, we go to Australia, fast bouncy pitches, etc.
Yeah, I mean that's always a debate, and I sort of back off that. It's an argument. I think it's a good debate for anybody with any sense in cricket. I think you should have a bit of home advantage, and when you go to various countries and various places, you know what to expect. And something else that'll rear its head is that the home team can prepare what they want, but the visiting team has won the toss. You've won the toss as a visiting team. And so you can decide what you want to do. So that might just temper it a little bit. But I'll fight shy of going into any sort of sensational argument. I always think if you're cricket people, if you're people and you know your cricket and you know the values of cricket, you can have a real good debate. And you can, I'll tell you what, Saj, when you've had your debate, you come out none the wiser.
Very true, Bumble. There was a lot of pressure on various people within Pakistan cricket, from the board, the selectors, the coach. But I think that the most pressure to win a match was on Shan Masood, who'd obviously lost his first few test matches as Pakistan captain. How big a win can that be for him?
Well, it quietens things down, and we've said before, he's a real cracking chap. He's a really nice bloke. Is he a captain? We'll find out. And so the selectors and crucially Gillespie have backed him, and this will, it'll do him every bit of good as well. But the selection of the team, caused a stir that, okay, we're going to leave some big players out. Well, it worked. It worked. You get runs. The formula is on a pitch like that, get runs in your first innings, crucial. So once they got up to 350, they're bossing the match. And England were going okay until the left-arm spinner gets going. And I thought he bowled beautifully. And you'll have to tell me, Sajid, I think he's quite mature, isn't he? He's not a youngster. How old is he?
Well, one is listed as 38-year-old, the left-arm spinner, and
Yeah.
the bald off spinner, Sajid Khan, he's listed as 31. So combined age of 69 years old, Bumble, give or take a few years. You know what it's like with Pakistan.
Yeah, I do. But, I look at a left arm spinner. He's got a beautiful action. He's got the very natural action. He's been doing it for years and he would know what to expect, that this is a pitch that's worn. I'm expected to do the business. I know what to do. I've got the experience and he's got the skill. And I thought he got a lovely dip on it and he definitely spins it. Now, the other thing, he's got to be accurate. And he was accurate as well. Gets 8 wickets in the second innings. And so he's done a terrific job for his team. But the team was packed with spinners and they all had a part to play. The interesting thing, if you look at that second innings, if you look at the scorecard, the two spinners, the two principal spinners of Pakistan between them, all the overs, one maiden. Only bought one maiden. So England haven't said, right, we're gonna try and battle this out with a game plan. England carried on saying, no, bang, bang, bang. If it comes off, okay. If not, we'll see you in Rawalpindi.
It's interesting you mentioned about the selectors, Bumble, because there was a lot of commotion within Pakistan when they dropped Shaheen and Naseem and Babar Azam, three of the biggest names in Pakistan cricket at the moment, and then brought these other guys in. But again, I mean, the selectors have been vindicated with that decision, haven't they?
Well, I mean, it's unbelievably brave to leave that class out. That vintage of terrific players for Pakistan. The other thing that we don't know, and I'd have a little dig at this if I'd have a little scrape around and see. Has there been a little bit of a problem in the dressing room that they need a bit of discipline? And has Gillespie said, look, I need to change. I need to change. You've got to change the team. And so they've come up with a solution and a formula and a plan when they played in that second test match that worked. But, just imagine going back a few years. Just go back a few years. Right, we're going to leave out Zaire Abbas and we're going to leave out Imran Khan and we're going to leave out Wasim Akram. I mean, the country would go mad. And so these are three major players that have been left out.
The three guys that they brought in, Bumble, we've spoken about the two spinners, obviously very experienced guys, both of them been around for a number of years. And the lad who made the 100, Kamran Ghulam, in the first innings, he's approaching 30. He's played a lot of domestic cricket. He's been mentioned as as an international player for many years. So he comes in, replaces Babar Azam. Loads of pressure on him. You can't praise him enough, can you?
No, and again, the clue to all that is he's 30. And so he wouldn't, I don't think he would see any pressure because he knows what he's doing. It's not that they've replaced Baba with an 18-year-old, a sensational player who's just come through. They've said he's gonna play, this experienced player. He's been round the block, he's played on every surface going, he's calm, he's got a calmness about him. Now then, he goes into bat, he's absolutely got the key position of batting. His captain wins the toss and he gets 100. Goes home and has a good sleep. That's all he'll do. He'll go home, go to his family, have a good sleep. How did you go? Oh, I got 100. Well, he'd done it before. He'll have done that many times before. And so the experience didn't bring on pressure.
Just one final point on the selectors, Bumble. They brought in Azhar Ali, experienced player. They brought in Akib Javed, the former Pakistan fast bowler, been around a lot. And then they brought in Aleem Dar, the umpire, as one of the selectors, Bumble. What did he make of that?
Well, I know Alim, and I really do. Now, it's not the first time this has happened. In England, in the 70s, in the early 70s, there was a very famous umpire, international umpire, called Charlie Elliott. And older viewers will remember Charlie Elliott. He was a player at Derbyshire. He became an international umpire of some real repute, and he became an England selector. And so his eyes are on all the county players. Now, that's slightly different with with Alim Dar. Alim Dar, although he would refute this, he would contest this. I was going to say that he won't see much domestic cricket. Well, I think Alim will. When he's not working, well, he's not doing international cricket. He'll be watching or playing in Pakistan.
What did you make of England's approach, Bumble? Especially in that second innings when I mean, we know about Bazball. We know that they want to play positive cricket. You mentioned about the fact that the spinners only bowled one maiden. But could they have approached it slightly differently?
Yeah, they could. The England are only going to play one way, and when I mentioned that there's only one, when a bowler gets 8 wickets and the spinners share all the wickets, you'd expect a fair amount of maidens. So they're going to play our way. That's what they're saying. So tactically, on that pitch, against who's the main threat? The main threat is going to be the left arm spinner. And so your other way of looking at it is okay. Our left-handed batters look after the left-arm spinner. They take all the left-arm spinner because you're hitting with the spin, you're hitting with the turn. It's not moving away from you. It's not spinning away from your bat. So that would have been another way of doing it, that your left-handed batters in England's lineup try to take most and nullify the left-arm spinner and see where we go. And equally, that your right-handed batters try to look after the right-arm spinner, the off spinner. So they're not interested in that. We're gonna take it on. We're gonna play our way. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. Move on to the next game.
Speaking of the next game, Bumble, the problem Pakistan now has that they played on a used pitch in Multan. Rawalpindi is going to be a fresh pitch, and that approach that worked in Multan isn't necessarily going to work in Rawalpindi, is it?
Well, if you'd expect that somebody's made a phone call and you'd say to the authorities at Rawalpindi, we want a turning pitch. And so, that is easy to do. To make a turning pitch is easy, that you actually under-prepare the pitch. And what you might do is you sort of give it a real good roll in the middle, where the fast ballers are going to bounce, where the fast ballers are going to land. And at the ends, you can give it a bit of a rake and just disturb the surface and then very lightly roll it in. And you've got a spinning pitch. It's very easy to do. And so all it would need is a phone call or a visit and say, look, we just want a great test match on a turning pitch. We want a pitch that spins. And it's easy to do. I mean, it's just that you under prepare the ends where the spin ballers are going to land.
I guess from a Pakistani perspective, the danger now is that yes, Pakistan comfortably won that second test, but England are going to be hurting. They're going to be looking to bounce back, aren't they, in this third test?
One thing they won't be is hurting. That's one thing they won't be. They just shrug their shoulders and move on right next. And they'll have had a good time, and I hope they have. I hope they've had a good time around Pakistan. And from what I know about this team, I don't think they'll have done much practicing. I think, if it were me, I'd be having a look round. I'd be seeing what Pakistan has to offer, get involved with the locals. It is, I've mentioned before, it is fabulous. There are 2 matches in Multan and one in Rawalpindi. And so, they're missing out on Karachi and Lahore, two fabulous places that you just go out your hotel and, that you could, the sights that you can see. And I have to say the chaos, you have to have some chaos. When you go to Pakistan, there's got to be some chaos. And you just get involved in it. It's good fun.
Well, when you mentioned the word chaos, that's Pakistan cricket for you, Bumble, isn't it? I mean, last time we spoke, we've had different selectors come in, your three best players dropped, and you know that's it seems to work. That chaos somehow produces results.
Well, whenever we have a World Cup, a white ball World Cup, and people come on and who's going to win it, and at the forefront they say, well, India, great powerhouse team, Australia are always going to be roundabout. Look at England, and then at the back end of that, they said, and Pakistan will start shocking. They'll be terrible at the beginning, and they could probably win it. And so there's your chaos. That always beware Pakistan. They'll come up with something.
Well, always a pleasure speaking with you. I'm sure we'll catch up at the end of the series when hopefully Pakistan have won 2-1, but we'll wait and see about that. As I say, thanks very much for your time. Always a pleasure.
Well, it's just at the end. I don't think it'll be a 5-day game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, the way England play, Bumble, it's not going to be a 5-day game. And Pakistan, I mean, anything is possible, really. Who knows what Pakistan we're going to see at Rawalpindi?
We'll look forward to it.
Great. Thank you very much.
See you
Take
soon.
care, Bumble. Thanks.